very much everyone for being here. My name is Franz Kennedy. I'm the CEO and co-founder of KlimatelinK. We're going to start really with, oh, it's not the right slide. Can you go back? Well, that's me, but just there's a big noise in the background. So, thank you. Just, yeah, shout if you can't hear me. I guess you can see me. Or if you need a drink or food. We're going to really try to keep the talk and presentation short, 45 minutes, so that you can actually have more time to connect and talk to each other and interact and hopefully act together. So, more people are coming. We're just starting. Come along, join us. So it's very emotional for me to be here tonight because I think it's the first event we organize face-to-face since November. We did our TEDx in November, so it's a bit emotional to see all these people, no mask, all together. And it's also emotional because it's a year since Alina, Sandeep and I created KlimatelinK with a K. So a year later, what have we done? Is it good, is it bad? But just a bit of background on the story. Why would a French-born older woman create a business with a Bangalore-born younger man and a Chinese-born, even younger woman? What do they have in common? Apart from the fact that we're all British now, as adults, God knows why, long story. What brought us together is the fact that after God knows many years of experience in business and as an entrepreneur, we realized that, unfortunately, the business community as a whole, globally, whether it's in India, in China, in the US, in Australia, is not very good at reducing carbon emissions. And I guess, why is it important? And I promise, I will not bore you with numbers. No numbers on carbon and CO2. But it is reducing carbon emission is the pathway to stop the temperature rising of the planet. And the three of us thought that we should do something about it because not only our experience as ex-corporate executive and entrepreneur show us that the business community is not very good at doing it, but research shows as well. Can you hear me? Research backed by Oxford University and Side Business School is showing that the business community is quite inefficient because it's disconnected, works in silos, and doesn't really know how to go about it because knowing how to... Is that a background noise or it's me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you very well.
Okay. Yeah, we all have to learn new things. We all have to speak to new partners. So we need training, we need business experience, we need to speed up technologies to reduce carbon emission. It's new, it's different. And people like me, older people, managers of big corporates, they don't really know how to do it. So that's why we created KlimatelinK, because the good news is there's a lot of money to be made because there's trillions of dollars or pounds that are going to be invested in this new technology to reduce carbon emission. So that's why we're here today, and that's why we created KlimatelinK, because we think that it's very important to engage more than 10% of the professional community, because imagine that all the billions of people who are using like LinkedIn, less than 10% focus every day on reducing carbon emissions. Whether there'll be 100 trillions of money put into these solutions. So that's why we created KlimatelinK, for professionals to be able to connect, interact, and act upon reducing emissions. So that's where we are today. But we wouldn't be here without a fantastic team. So we're here today as well to thank our ambassadors, who's going to meet you soon, our investors, our partners, our supporters, who's been with us for a year. And we're very happy also for you to be here today, because we would like you to experience what KlimatelinK is. It's about meeting up face-to-face, that we're doing today, so that you can think about interacting together to work on projects to reduce carbon emission. So what do people find within KlimatelinK? Maybe you can just show the next slide. Sorry, a few slides. So what we offer is opportunity to connect with members to develop your career into reducing emissions, to join, create, or expand working groups, which are projects to reduce carbon emission all over the world, to find expertise and certification, to invest in projects that reduce carbon emission, or to crowdfund for your project to reduce carbon emission. That's what KlimatelinK is all about. So, how we do that? We engage the members to join communities. So we have 14 communities. Community is an industry or a focus on a specific innovation or technology. So we have community on food, fashion, biogas, hydrogen, circular economy, you name them. And the members create the community, facilitated by someone called a facilitator community. So we have a few of them today. Because KlimatelinK is all about being human and digital. Because it's great that we're here today, interacting, but it's not very scalable. So we created also a digital app so that the members can also connect digitally in work in these communities. Does that make sense? I'm so sorry because we're trying to keep it that you wouldn't have too many, you would not be able to ask questions, but after the talks, you can have a lot of questions to ask. I think that's about it for me, unless I forgot. Yeah, I think we can go through the fact that people interact with events. So we have a slide where we show that we organize digital events, webinars, conferences, visits to projects. So for example, if you want to visit in France, a farm that transforms farm stock into biomethane and electricity, come to us and we can organize that, going on the train, not flying. So that's kind of all the list of events you can have on our website. So I'm going to stop here and just engage all of you to go to KlimatelinK.com and join our membership program so that you can really learn more about what we do. And your feedback is more than welcome tonight. I'm passing you over now to our co-founder. Yeah, we forgot to listen to all the partners, but we have lots of partners, 23 partners. So next, because I'm conscious of time, I'm going to leave the floor to Alina. Alina Zo is our third co-founder. She's based in Singapore, 7 hours ahead, so she's asleep. But she left us a little video testimonial. So thank you, everyone.
Hi everyone, my name is Alina. I'm also one of the KlimatelinK co-founders. I'm saying hi from Singapore. Although I can't physically be here today, I am so excited about the app launching. Also, I would like to take the opportunity to thank you for your interest in KlimatelinK. So I originally come from China, educated and worked in the UK, United States and Singapore, and my professional background is management accounting. So I've always believed in good cause, and after all these years' experience working with large corporations, especially worked in industries such as agriculture, manufacturing and logistics, which are producing a lot of CO2, but at the same time they are pioneered in carbon reductions, especially in recent years. So I would like to transfer my expertise and my international perception into something meaningful. And that is how I started everything with KlimatelinK. So KlimatelinK is trying to build a global community. While Anne-France and Sandeep are focusing on Europe as a region, my focus will be mainly around Asia Pacific. And Singapore has always been the financial and technology center for Asia Pacific. And when it comes to climate awareness, Singapore already introduced carbon tax 2 years ago, and last year a government-backed carbon credit trading exchange platform already been established and up running, which means there will be increased demand for carbon-related skills and experts. And that's when KlimatelinK comes in. So we enable individuals being part of the global community and to grow together. So I hope you enjoyed today's event, and I look forward to see you again on KlimatelinK.
Next, I think, is practitioner, investor, supporter, Kevin.
Thank you, Anne-France. So how did I get involved in KlimateliNK originally? So mostly through Sandeep. I've known Sandeep for, what do you reckon, 10 years, something like that.
Yes.
We worked together in a couple of businesses, and when he first brought the idea to me, it actually made a lot of sense, because we can wait for governments to take action and things like that. We'll be waiting a long time. There's a lot of money coming from governments, but ultimately the whole energy transition is going to be driven by private individuals, by business, and by each of us changing our own activities. So the important thing for me with KlimateliNK, and actually proven already, is facilitating the link between companies to make stuff happen. And many private companies, many technology companies operate in quite a small niche area, and they don't necessarily have the reach across into other companies with other expertise. And that's something that has already happened working with KlimateliNK. On one of our projects, we're developing an off-grid motorway service station powered by solar and wind, with batteries and surplus as hydrogen. And through France, I was introduced to some other parties who are enabling us to drive forward with the solar and the battery part of the project, which was a very, very valuable introduction. And equally through Sandeep, I was introduced to a private equity company that are doing international developments in developing countries for green hydrogen to ammonia developments, and then some of that will be used within the country for greening their own economy, but some of it will be exported internationally. And they were looking for technical help, and Sandeep made an introduction, and now my company, Creas Energy Consulting, are working with that company to develop those projects. So that kind of gives you an idea of the power of having these connections, and I'm very confident that KlimateliNK will help many more of those connections to happen in the coming years. And I think the other part that's really valuable is education. Ultimately, it's not just about making hydrogen, making renewable energy available to people. It's actually us all changing our ways and changing the way that we consume. And that education needs to happen right across the population. And KlimateliNK is a vehicle to help that to happen as well. So I'm very optimistic about the future for this platform in helping to drive a greener world and hopefully start to reverse the effects of climate change.
Thank you, Kevin. So Kevin is from England, but now I just want to show that KlimateliNK is very international as well. So we have Errol from Turkey. Thank you, Errol.
Hello everyone. When Anne-France was telling she's from France and Sandeep from India and Singapore, I thought, okay, it's my turn to come up and say I'm from Turkey, and just here's the photo of the picture. Anyways, I've been in waste business since 2008, 2009, developing landfill gas, biogas projects, carbon credits, waste recycling, wastewater treatment plants in Turkey. 2 years back, I think it was around end of 2020 when I was first introduced with the Carbon 13 team and started exploring all the initiatives and meeting valuable people like you see most of them. And I came across to KlimateliNK and said, okay, this is the soul that we've been looking for. We have been working on our own in a nutshell in part of the world, and someone else is doing a similar thing in another part, in a different part of the world. But we need to come together and join forces if we need to fight for climate, which is extremely important. And it gets more and more difficult to cope with the change of the climate and come up with solutions. So KlimateliNK creates a networking, a base a place where we can share and learn from each other. When I started the first talks or the first meetings, I thought I would maybe add or give away some of my experiences, but then I thought maybe it's for me to learn out of all these valuable people. So it's a two-way thing. I find it very valuable when we work together. I think that's the only way we can be successful. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony. It's very precious to us, and you're helping us also to create working groups in biogas and hydrogen, both of you. Next is a testimonial from one of our advisors. She can't be here today, but she really wanted to say a word about why she's been advising us. And she's not too much into renewable energy and biogas, but she's really into branding and into colors and into member engagement, and she's been amazing to help us do that. Marie-Agnès, sorry.
Good evening. My name is Marie-Agnès Bechem and I'm based in the UK. And over a year ago, I joined the advisory board of KlimatelinK. When I discovered Anne France and Sandy's vision and plan to help professionals worldwide saving time, energy and carbon emission, I felt that their mission really filled the gap. KlimatelinK is not just another networking app for professionals. What I like about it is that the team is building a network of professionals through communities and working groups that actually creates or expand projects that will reduce carbon emission. So I urge you to join KlimatelinK and the KlimatelinK community, because I'm confident that you will find the support and the help that your business or your employer needs to tackle net zero challenges. Thank you for your support.
Thank you very much. So I guess this is how other people talking about us. That's why I wanted to show it to you. And the last one, I think, is the partner. We have one of our partners called EcoTree. It's a part that I haven't really mentioned, but also one that's been driving our success for the last 12 months is we have now 23 partners in forestry, biochar, hydrogen, and lots of different industry that helps to save carbon emissions. So this is testimonial from Thomas. He's the CEO of EcoTree based in Denmark.
Good evening to you all. I'm Thomas, co-founder and international CEO at EcoTree. Unfortunately, I cannot be with you this evening for the launch of the KlimatelinK app, but I still wanted to say a few words on this occasion. So, we are EcoTree, one of KlimatelinK's first forestry partners, and we're on a mission to reforest Europe sustainably with our unique model of tree ownership. Basically, anyone, individuals or companies can buy trees from a European forest that deliver both solid and long-term environmental benefits and a return on your investment. So when I heard Sandeep and Anne France's vision to help professionals worldwide save time, money and carbon emissions, I felt that they were on a mission that would really help projects like EcoTree scale more efficiently. KlimatelinK will help EcoTree with recruiting talented teammates, finding relevant partners in the UK to develop afforestation and carbon removal projects, as well as with engaging its members to invest in our projects. Our EcoTree team will be super excited to contribute to the KlimatelinK network by sharing our knowledge and expertise in reforestation and peatlands in Europe and in the UK. So I can only encourage you to join KlimatelinK, as I'm confident that you will find in this growing community the support and the help your business or employer needs to address net zero challenges. Thank you so much, and may the forest be with you.
So we haven't been so successful on the gender diversity. We're still trying, so we don't know why we're more women. No comments on that. But you know, ambassadors and volunteers on the other side of the gender gap will be more than welcome. So they're going to just tell you why they came to us and they've been so helpful. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Defne and I'm a first year undergraduate student at UCL. I come from Turkey and I've always been interested in the environment and especially how it's been changing. This is why I've been studying physical geography this year, and I'm part of KlimateliNK because I believe it really gives hope for the future from a business perspective. I'm part of the external communications team of KlimateliNK, but I'm also a facilitator for the water community.
Hi, my name is Louison. I'm a French Londoner. I'm graduating UCL for design engineering this year. I'm also part of a comms team with my great team we have with me. I'm also a community facilitator for fashion, and I joined KlimateliNK because as a future designer, I believe that climate change should be at the center of our design.
Hi everyone, I am Longton. I'm originally from Nigeria. I'm currently completing my PhD in chemical engineering. I came across KlimateliNK on LinkedIn. They had an event and I joined and it was amazing. And I just really wanted to be part of that community. I know a lot of people have talked about being experts and collaborating with others, but for me, I came from a place where I was curious, I wanted to know, and I also wanted to learn. So at KlimateliNK, there's a place for everyone. If you're willing to learn, there's that community to build and connect with, and it's been an amazing experience for me. I am facilitator for the hydrogen and biogas community.
Hi everyone, my name is Polina and I'm originally from Russia, but I've been in England for like a really long time now. And as experienced consultant in sustainability consultant, I've seen the same problems as Sandeep and Anfan saw, and I really got inspired by what they were doing by bridging the gap between people who work and do net zero carbon reduction. So I got really excited about their project, and that's why I joined them originally. Then realized that I stayed mostly for the people who work here because we have an amazing team, and I am a user engagement and comms lead. Yeah, and also facilitator for construction community.
Hi, I'm Agnès Duplessis. I am French and a proud British citizen too. I have joined KlimateliNK for two main reasons. The first reason is the management. It's fantastic. You know, Anne Frances convinced me she's the drive, the energy, the passion that you want at the head of a company. And also because I strongly believe in their business model, which will definitely bring change, and it will accelerate change, and I want to be part of that change.
Thank you very much.
So there would be no vision, nothing without the team, so thank you. And I forgot another video which is really important. Another woman, but like from India, from Hyderabad. She's absolutely amazing. She's been from afar during COVID, helping with organizing webinars and Q&As and podcasts on soil generation and biochar. And by the way, biochar and biogas are going to be those two strong themes this year for KlimateliNK. And if you don't know what biochar is, it's normal. Come and see us and we'll explain to you.
Hi, I am Diti Garg. I am part of the soil regeneration community at KlimateliNK, and I've been working here for almost a year now. KlimateliNK is an amazing platform which gives me an opportunity not just to share the Indian perspective on how we are working on rejuvenating our soils, but also interact with experts and practitioners and advisors and explorers from all across the world and understand how communities in other countries are coming together to do the same. Soil regeneration is one of the key elements when we are trying to understand climate change, and KlimateliNK has given me the opportunity to sort of deep dive into it from a plethora of perspectives. Through KlimateliNK, I get the opportunity to connect, interact and act on this sector which is so close to my heart and I'm passionate about, and I could not be more thankful.
Okay, thank you for being so patiently waiting and listening. I hope you're not too bored. If anybody wants more drinks, then relax a bit, but not yet. Now we have the best of all, I think, we were waiting for is Sandeep. Sandeep is, I can't say, amazingly talented. Sandeep is the only person I met, and I'm quite old, who can combine emotional intelligence connecting power with networking and tech. So, no offense to the tech world and the coders of this room, but, having a software engineer designer who can design wonderful videos, bring lots of people around and build an app is quite special. So, thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Anne. So in terms of my background, I've been lucky enough to work in multiple industries and big corporates, and one of the things I really enjoyed is focusing on building communities. And when I met Anne-France in Carbon 13 Venture Building Program, she didn't have to explain a lot about what she was thinking about. And this is why I think from day one we knew that we should probably partner together and actually build KlimatelinK. So it was a natural thing for me to get involved. At the beginning of our journey, it probably took less than 30 to 40 days for us to build something and actually show it to people in terms of how we are thinking of bringing community together through an app. But again, I think the challenge with most of the startups is getting the right people at the beginning, the talent. And when you do get the people, I think the big challenge is to holding on to them. And I think we started seeing that right from the beginning. And this is what actually ended up pushing our timelines in terms of when we wanted to launch what you are actually going to see now. So without actually talking too much, what I want to actually quickly show you is the actual app which we built. It's going to be a short trailer which you can look at, and then I'm going to explain a bit more. So let's look at the trailer. It shows we are in the waiting list right now, so if anybody's not actually joined the waiting list, I would encourage you to join the waiting list. But because you all have come, taken your time and made an effort to be here, what we will do is we will give you early access. Even before the rest of the world gets to see how our app looks like, you will actually have access to the app. And the idea is we'll probably take another 2 to 3 weeks to make sure it's tested properly, there's no bugs. But we don't want to wait. So we'll invite all the people in this room to come a bit more early so you can actually share some feedback. We've got different communities on the app, so we will actually create one community called KlimatelinK Feedback, which you can join on, and you can actually give us feedback there itself. The interesting thing about the app which we are launching, it's got the chat feature in it, it's got videos, it's got a whole bunch of things which you'll actually start seeing. The key thing for me personally was, I think the app gives you that convenience of not having to actually meet people face to face and connect in the remote world. And I think that's what we saw in the last couple of months during COVID. It makes a lot of difference when you're stuck in a room to actually connect with people. How do you meet people you've never met? So convenience is definitely one of the things we were thinking of when it comes to making sure KlimatelinK works for everyone. But even the confidence element is important. When I say confidence, I think when you come meet people face to face in an environment like this, I think it's a completely different dynamic. You see people's body language, you see how passionate they are in specific topics. So I think it's a balance when it comes to how do you make networking work, how do you build a community who are really interested in a specific topic. So the next thing I want to quickly touch base is Web3. Web3 is making a lot of interesting news right now, and a lot of people are wondering, what is Web3? At the heart, it's principles. Principles which talks about, can we give value to the people who are in a community? So let's take an example. You all are going to be part of a, sustainable community, which is why you are interested, which is why you are in this room. Now the question is, if you start using the app, how much value we can give you back versus how much value we are actually keeping. So this is where we are thinking of different business models. So anyone who is interested in climate change can join KlimatelinK for free. We've got our friend membership. But anybody who decides to actually pay money and be a friend plus or a patron, we are looking at how we can actually send a big chunk of that money back to the community so that they can actually use it in the community and grow that one area or two area they're really passionate about. So this is where I think the Web3 principles are really interesting. And at the heart, there's just three things I want you all to take away. One is, it's all about community. What does people actually get being part of the network? That's one of the key things we are focusing on. Two, autonomy. When I was starting off in my career, I think a couple of years ago, I had an opportunity to work for a couple of startups. I didn't get paid, didn't matter. All I really wanted was the experience, the opportunity to have the autonomy to do what I thought was right. And I think this is what I think most of them tend to crave when they're still studying, an opportunity to have a platform, opportunity to meet founders, opportunity to actually work on a really interesting project. Because once you have an opportunity to work on really interesting projects, you have interesting stories to say. So when you go to an interview, you have stuff which you can share with people and connect and make sure people understand that you know what you're talking about. So this is where I think through KlimatelinK, we will be able to give people an autonomy to make decisions. A bit more details on that we will share, but I thought let me just share that as a second key thing. And the last one is equity. Right now, people who really believe in KlimatelinK are actually investing in us, and we've given them an equity in the business. But because we are a Web3 focused organization, we will also start issuing tokens. So without going much into the detail, at the moment, all the individuals who are volunteering and giving us their time, as soon as the app gets launched, we will actually start giving them tokens in terms of the reputation. And the idea is, you shouldn't be able to buy reputation. Its reputation is something you build over the time of you spending time on the KlimatelinK app. So there's some really interesting stuff coming. I don't want to give a lecture about what Web3 is, but at the heart, I want you to take these three things: community, autonomy, and equity is what we are focusing on. So I'm going to leave that there. As I said, I also believe in the importance of confidence, which you get when you actually meet people face to face. Last year, I managed to run a TEDx event, and what I found fascinating about the TEDx event was people just came together and just made it happen. For me, it felt so effortless on the day when the actual event happened. So I got 8 speakers to come and talk about climate change. So the entire event was focused on climate change. Usually when TED runs their TED Talk, the subjects are a bit different, but they started this thing called Countdown 2 to 3 years ago, focusing on climate change. So this is something which I did last year, and I immediately saw how people were ready to come forward and actually help. They were really believed in what you can do as an individual. So I'm going to give you a quick clip of that event which we ran last year. And if you've not seen any of those videos, they're on YouTube. And some of the people who are at the TED Talk who are speaking are actually in the room today. So again, feel free to speak to them. But I thought let me just show you really quick what we ran last year, because these are some really interesting and good ideas people shared, which you can watch on YouTube.
And today, we're still continuing with those innovations. We're using biomimicry to recover heat that was previously just wasted to atmosphere.
We have more CEOs named Peter than female CEOs. Are you as shocked by that as I was? It's out of balance and it isn't working.
Table that's got here has more value dead than it has alive. What I want us to do is reimagine how we could use beauty to really change the way things look. Ultimately, what can happen?
The planet as well. When you travel, could you have walked, cycled, or taken public transport? I still believe, like those crews that had those massive changes when they crossed oceans, that to really
And the good news is, it's coming, is that they're already...
So that future generations of children can, like we did, have a planet to play on. Thank you.
100 million visitors go to in-person trade conferences, exhibitions and conferences. every single one of those visitors.
In countries where they get job, get education, then they can buy all these things that make our life comfortable. So let's go for growth. Great. So I started working, I was very lucky, in a company called AMI Music, flagship of the British music.
So the idea behind showing you guys just a small 2-second clip is to create that curiosity so that you can go and actually watch these talks. And also to reiterate that, yes, my focus is actually on building a product to make it easy for people to connect to each other. But I also recognize the importance of actually meeting people face to face. So this is why I wanted to really showcase that. What I found really interesting is part of that exercise of inviting people, giving them an opportunity to have a platform where they can speak about their ideas, etc., which I got by actually meeting people. People actually introduced me. Ash was one of the speakers, is my core, super connector. I met a lot of people through her. And that's when I was thinking, definitely there's more people out there who should be meeting people like Ash, who are super connectors, through who you can actually meet other people who can actually support you. So at the heart, the product which we built focuses on two things: your needs and what you can offer. So as individuals, if you're part of KlimatelinK, we will actually try to find the people you are interested in terms of based on your need, and if you can actually offer, we'll help you match. So the big part of it is the matchmaking, and I think that is where the real value comes in. And if somebody once told me, Sandeep, if somebody can't afford paying for that, are they going to be excluded from being part of your community? And the answer is no. I think anybody who joins that, they don't have to pay, they have access to the community immediately. I think when people do pay, it just helps us fund certain parts of the community and actually help the people who are really passionate in that specific community actually grow it. So that's how we are actually thinking. So when you get a chance, have a look at that. We're going to send you a link which shows you a video of actual demo of every single function. But most importantly, it will tell you how we are trying to personalize stuff for you and your benefit. So I would probably conclude there, and if you've got any more questions on that, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm going to be here.
Kimon, do you have any more questions about the app?
No, I'll wait to see it. Is it available on Android?
Yes, it's already there on Android and Apple Store. In fact, the planning, things don't go as planned. So the planning was to actually give everybody sitting in the room to download the app, and you can actually use it for the next 3 to 4 weeks, even before it gets launched. But again, things don't go as planned. One of the developers had this clever idea of making it super interesting. So they built a function where if you uploaded a celebrity's photograph, it doesn't allow you. And interestingly enough, they forgot to tell the front-end developer. So we started uploading a couple of people's photographs to test, and we were thinking, why is it not working? And then we actually pushed it to the Apple Store thinking it's a bug. And then we got to know it's a feature, not a bug, which is built. So this is one of the reasons why we couldn't actually give you access to it today. But in short, you can actually go on Android or Apple, find the app, you can download, you can even register, but you won't be able to go beyond that because you need a registration code. So that is what we are holding on to as of today, but we will send it to you in the next couple of days so you can actually download, test it, play it, and give us feedback so that we can actually improve it even before we launch. I hope that answers your question, Kimon. Yes, it's also going to be on Android.
Why is it listed as education and not community and social network?
Sorry?
It's listed as education, but not
as a social network. That's a good question. One of the first things we thought was there's a lot of stigma associated with social network in terms of how they prey on your attention, how they prey on your emotions. We wanted to be a community which focuses on people's well-being as well as start looking at specific area they're passionate about. I think there's a balance there, which is why we consciously, when we were pushing the app into the Apple Store, we found the option and said, let's pick learning. That sounds more of who we are and what we are trying to do. Yes, you can chat. Yes, you can have video conference on the app. Yes, you can have audio conference, but we don't want to come across as a company which is focusing on social networking. It's more on community learning and giving the people the autonomy to create those working groups. That's where I think it's a bit more interesting and a bit more niche. So yeah, it was a instant decision when we saw the drop down on what to select when we were pushing the app learning. Yes, that's where we were.
Okay.
Cool.
I
I think I'm going to pass on. Just to let you know, most of the food here we ordered today, wine, beer, everything is climate neutral. And it took some time for us to find them. And there came a point where in the supermarket I was thinking maybe I should create a community for anybody running an event where to get climate neutral food or drinks. So yeah, that did cross my mind, but everything I'm drinking today is climate neutral, and we just found it 2 minutes walk from here, just Waitrose in the corner. And it's not expensive, trust me. People have not picked up thinking, oh, it might not taste. You've tried it, so you can be the judge of it. And of course, all the food we've ordered is vegan and plant-based. Again, we are trying to be a bit more mindful, even though it's so easy to just go grab whatever we find just next door. So yeah, that's where I think we can do small effort. And I'm hoping it can become a bit more convenient. And I think that's where our app is coming. It's about how do we make it convenient enough so people can do the right thing. Cool, let me pass on, or else I'll continue talking all day.
We wouldn't be, thank you very much. You see how lucky I am to have met Sandy digitally a year ago through COVID. But we wouldn't be a startup if we didn't have any ask. Don't think like we just came like, okay, to listen and have some vegan, carbon neutral food and drinks. We'd love you to join the waiting list on KlimatelinK.com. Well, basically, you are guinea pigs. We'd like to have your feedback, because before we go to the world at the end of June and say, woo, we'd like to make sure that there's no more bugs and and all your pictures will be on the app. So yeah, feel free to join. It's free, and take a bit of time to send us your feedback and speak about KlimateliNK with a K to all your contacts. We also have we forgot to say one thing, we have Kimon on the app, is a job board. So it's very difficult for companies to find, to recruit talent and to actually to recruit talent efficiently, because the market of recruiting talent for sustainable ventures is actually putting the headhunters market upside down, because nobody has the right skills, nobody has the experience, everybody is new, all technology is new. So we're here to help, again, recruiters to save time, money, and carbon by matching them with very talented people like our ambassadors today. We'd like also, spread the word about KlimateliNK, and we're also looking for more facilitators for our community. So it sounds, people are saying, why you have an arts and culture community? Believe it or not, lots of museums and lots of theaters need to reduce their carbon emissions. They have no idea how to do about it. They need to raise funds for it, but they have no idea how, because their donors are not, listening to this, their cries about converting their gas boilers into heat pump. So they actually need, we need someone to help us to run that community. Forestation, super important. There's so many new innovation, and we would need someone who is actually passionate about it, because I can't do them all. And energy efficiency, because I've been working for 5 years in energy efficiency before, and it's very important. But again, I can't do everything, I need some support here. So anybody who can help. So a facilitator is basically someone who learned a lot, organized webinars, podcasts, Q&As, and events, and also find job for other people or for themselves. I hope it makes sense. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your patience, and hopefully you keep smiling. So networking time, enough talking. Finish all the vegan food and everything, and send us your question, your constant criticism, and let us know if you heard about another KlimateliNK, because we might partner with them as well. Thank you very much.